Good afternoon, fourth grade.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Abrog.
We're going to do a spelling lesson today. Okay, so you have fraction, and the control for fraction is L-O-T-I-O-N says shun. Go back to the margin, and I want you to write U with another vowel. What sound does U with another vowel say?
U.
U. If I have a square, but it actually has 6 sides to it, then it is a
Cube.
How do you spell cube?
C-U-B-E.
And the control is?
U with another vowel.
U with another vowel. And if I can play something, it's called a?
Flute.
I can play a?
Flute.
Oh, but flute is different. I play a tune. And how do we spell tune? T-U-N-E. Now, the word that you used, Reese, was the word?
Tuba.
Oh, tuba. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Tuba. That's not really U with another vowel, though, is it? What would it be?
U accent.
U accented, and the A that says tuba. Sometimes U with another vowel doesn't say U. What does it say?
Ooh.
Ooh. When does U with another vowel have the sound of 2 O's with a macron? When does U with another vowel say ooh?
Flute.
All right, so after
R, J, and L.
After R, J, and blends that end in L. Well, I'm going to look first at the U after the R. If someone is not being polite, they are being
Rude.
rude. How do we spell rude? R-U-D-E. Have you ever eaten a plum that has been dried?
A fig?
Have you ever seen a plum that has been dried?
Oh, a prune.
What were you saying, Sonia?
A prune.
A prune. Yes. And after the lesson, you may try one of these. Now, a plum, in the center of a plum, what do they have in the very center? What is it? It's a pit or a?
Seed.
It's bigger than a seed. It's called a
Stone.
It's called a stone. Yes, in the center there's a stone. And sometimes when you eat a plum, the flesh of the plum kind of sticks to the stone. It clings to the stone. And sometimes when you eat a plum, nothing sticks to it. The stone is free of all of the flesh from the plum. So if it's a plum that is a free stone, the kind where the stone comes away easily, then we know that as a prune. And so you can see this is a fresh prune right here. We still call them plums, but they used to be called fresh prunes. And then when they're dried, they're quite wrinkly and sticky, and they're absolutely delicious. So after our lesson today, I will share my prunes with you. These are dried plums. So let's write the word prune. How would we spell it?
P-R-U-N-E.
How would we write the control for prune?
U
With another vowel equals
O.
2 O's with a macron.
Macron.
And what made that U say the oo sound?
The R.
The R. So we need to put an R in parentheses after it. So we know 2 O's with say oo, And U with another vowel says oo after R. And after J, I'm thinking of a month of the year, and that month is
June.
June. How do we spell June? J-U-N-E, but we need to make sure we have a capital J. What's our control for June?
U with another vowel says O with a make.
Says oo because of the J. And it also says oo after blends that end in L. So a color would be blue. And if you're a detective, then you're looking for clues. And in your chimney, anybody have a fireplace at home?
Yes.
In the fireplace at home, when you want to have a fire, there's something inside the chimney that you need to open so that the smoke will go up.
A chute.
It's called a flue, and it's spelled F-L-U-E. So before you light a fire in your fireplace, you need to open the flue. And how do you spell that? F-L-U-E. And our control is U with another vowel equals two O's with a macron because of the L. Are you able to tell me the 6 consonants that say their own names?
F-E-L-E-M-E-N-E-S-C-X.
Very nicely done. Leela, do you know the doubling rule? Have you ever heard the doubling rule?
Yes.
Can you explain the doubling rule to me? Everybody else needs to be thinking.
When a vowel says its alone sound in the first syllable, you double the consonant after it.
So to keep the vowel alone sound, we're going to double the consonant that follows it. In Little House on the Prairie, the girls wore these interesting little hats on their heads, and sometimes babies will wear them. Do you know what it's called? Ayan, do you know what it's called?
Bonnet.
Bonnet. How do we spell bonnet?
B-O-N-N-E-T.
Now I'm going to dictate that word to you so that you can hear it. Are you ready? Listen for it. Ba, what will you say?
B.
Ah,
O.
n.
N.
Good. E,
E.
ta.
T.
And the word is?
Bonnet.
Spell it.
B-O-N-N-E-T. Bonnet.
And the control is?
O before a double consonant, hyphen E-O.
You don't need to say the punctuation marks. You don't need to say the hyphen. You can just say O alone before a double consonant. And you can think the word hyphen and say E alone. Is that okay? All right, so we're going to do our spelling lesson today. And I think you have an idea of what kinds of sounds we're going to have in our spelling lesson. Are you ready?
Yes.
The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions.
The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions.
Number 1, tune. Say the word.
Tune.
Ta,
T.
U,
U.
N.
N. E.
You don't seem to be very sure about that E. Shall we try it again? The word is tune. Ta,
T.
U.
U.
Is it just a U that says U? Or is it U with another vowel that says U? Yes. N.
N. E.
And you have to write that E right away. And the word is?
Tune.
Spell it.
T-U-N-E. Tune.
And what's your control?
U with another vowel.
The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. Number 2, the word is fractions.
Fraction.
Fra,
F-R-A-C
a, ka, shun.
T-I-O-N
Make it plural.
S.
And the word is?
Fractions.
Spell it.
F-R-A-C-T-I-O-N-S. Fractions. A alone. T-I-O-N says shun.
Let's go back, pointing with our pencil. Let's say the story. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He divided the figures into sections. Number 3, sections.
Sections.
Sa,
S
e,
E
ka,
C
shun.
T-I-O-N
Make it plural.
S. Sections. S-E-C-T-I-O-N-S. Sections. The cardinal control for sections is E alone hyphen T-I-O-N-S.
O, T-I-O-N says shun. Pointing with your pencil. Let's say the story. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He can boast that he does well in this work. Number 4, boast.
Boast.
Ba,
B
o,
O-A
sta.
S-T.
Boast. B-O-A-S-T. Boast. O with another vowel. And the, what are you going to put? A in parentheses. That's the low pitch of O. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He is as well as anyone in the nation. He does as well as anyone in the nation. Number 5, nation.
Nation.
N-A, shun.
T-I-O-N.
Nation.
N-A-T-I-O-N. Nation. The cardinal control for nation is A accented T-I-O-N says shun.
You don't have to say the cardinal control is for each of these words. You may think it in your head, but you don't need to say it. Let's go back and say our story. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes and will not be rude to others who find it difficult. He will endure all the hard work it takes and will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Number 6, endure.
Endure.
N,
E-N,
D,
D,
U,
U, R-E.
and the word is
Endure.
E-N-D-U-R-E.
Endure.
E-N says N.
U with another vowel.
You don't sound too sure of that one. Look at the first letter that changes sound. What do we have? E-N says N. U with another vowel says U. Just be bold. Be brave. Endure, and then the next word is number 7, rude.
Rude.
R, U, with another vowel says U after R. Da,
D,
and the word is
rude. R-U-D-E. Rude.
U with another vowel says U after R. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes and will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. Number 8, June. And this is a proper noun, so it's going to begin with capital J. You with another vowel says oo after J. N.
E.
And the word is June. Capital J-U-N-E. June. U with another vowel says oo after J. Number 9, satisfy.
Satisfy.
Sat.
S-A-T.
I.
I.
Sa.
S.
Fa.
F.
I at the end.
Y.
And the word is
Satisfy.
S-A-T-I-S-F-Y.
Satisfy.
Think about it. Your control is
S-A-T,
not to double.
I alone. Y says I with another vowel.
Y says I. Number 10. Flute.
Flute.
Fla.
F-L.
Oo. U with another vowel says oo after L. Ta.
T-E.
And the word is
Flute. F-L-U-T-E. Flute.
U with another vowel says oo after.
L.
So we have the FL that says oo, makes it say oo. Can we point to the top? Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes and will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Number 11, the word is prunes. Prunes. Pra.
P-R.
Oo.
U. With another vowel says oo after R.
N.
N-E.
Make it plural.
E-S.
And the word is
Prunes.
P-R-U-N-E-S.
Prunes.
U with another vowel says oo because of the
R.
R. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes and will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of prunes. Do not confuse them with dried ones. Do not confuse them with dried ones. Number 12, the word is confuse.
Confuse.
Ka.
C.
A.
O.
N.
N.
Fa.
F.
U.
U with another vowel.
Za.
S-E.
And the word is
Confuse.
C-O-N-F-U-S-E. Confuse. O alone says ah.
U with another vowel says U. S plus E equals
Oh, S plus E?
equals Z.
All right, so let's take a look at this. Why do we have an E at the end of that word, Ion?
Because English words do not end in a single S, V,
Really?
Z.
Look at the word is. Look at the word. Is that E there just to keep the S from being alone at the end of the word? If we take the E off, cover the E with your finger. And what word are we left with? Confess. We don't want confess, do we?
So the
We want the word confuse. And so why do we add an E?
to make the U's
To make the you say you. Did this word confuse you?
yes.
That's okay. So our control is O alone and you with another vowel. Let's say our story. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes, and he will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Do not confuse them with the dried ones. They came in a blue box. They came in a blue box. Number 13, blue.
Blue.
13, blue. Blue. Blah.
B-L.
Ooh.
U-E.
And the word is?
Blue.
B-L-U-E.
Blue.
U with another vowel says ooh because of the L. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes, and he will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Do not confuse them with the dried ones. They came in a blue box. It was the intention of the person to have the box held together with glue. It was the intention of the person to have the box held together with glue. Number 14, intention.
Intention.
N ta N shun.
T-I-O-N. Intention. I-N-T-E-N-T-I-O-N. Intention. I-alone. E-N-T-I-O-N says shun.
And number 15, glue.
Glue.
Gla.
G-L-U-E. Glue. G-L-U-E. Glue. U with another vowel says ooh because of the L.
Because of the L. Because of the L. Right, back to the top. Ready? And begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes, and he will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Do not confuse them with the dried ones. They came in a blue box. It was the intention of the person to have the box held together with glue. Now, I've run out of room, so I'm going to be flipping back and forth with my pages, and if you've run out of room, you may do that as well. In connection with the flute playing, he received an invitation to play at a concert given at the club. In connection with the flute playing, he received an invitation to play at a concert given at a club. Number 16, connection.
Connection.
Ka,
C.
a,
O.
n,
N. N.
e,
E.
ka,
C.
shun.
T-I-O-N.
Connection. C-O-N-N-E-C-T-I-O-N. Connection. Look carefully. What do we have? O before a double consonant says ah.
E alone. T-I-O-N says shun.
Number 17, invitation.
Invitation.
I,
N.
va,
V.
I,
T.
a,
A.
shun.
T-I-O-N.
Invitation. I-N-V-I-T-A-T-I-O-N. Look carefully. I want you to write the control and not saying anything. Wow, those pencils went down very quickly. Well, let's see what we have. Everybody tell me what you have. I alone.
I alone. A accented. T-I-O-N says shun.
Very well done. All right, let's read our story. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figure into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes, and he will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Do not confuse them with the dried ones. They came in a blue box. It was the intention of the person to have the box held together with glue. In connection with the flute playing, he received an invitation to play at a concert given at the club. It was against the rule to invite an inexperienced player, but they made an exception for him. It was against the rule to invite an inexperienced player, but they made an exception for him. Number 18, rule.
Rule. R.
U.
U with another vowel. With another vowel.
Ul.
L. E.
And the word is
Rule. R-U-L-E. Rule.
U with another vowel says oo because of the R. Number 19, exception.
Exception.
Number 19, X,
E-X.
S,
C.
E,
E.
P,
T.
shun.
T-I-O-N.
Exception. That's a tough one, wasn't it? Look carefully, and I want you to spell the word E-X-C-E-P-T-I-O-N. Now don't say anything, write the control. Listen to the way that I dictated that. What was the first letter that changes its sound?
X.
E-X says X. And then what was the next letter that changed its sound?
C.
C. What sound did the C say? S. It has that hissing sound. And what made it hiss?
The E.
The E. And then we have the T-I-O-N that says shun. So what is your card and control? E-X, C-E with the E in parentheses. E alone, T-I-O-N.
says shun.
Pointing with your pencil, let's say our story. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it will take and will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Do not confuse them with the dried ones. They came in a blue box. It was the intention of the person to have the box held together with glue. In connection with the flute playing, he received an invitation to play at a concert at the club. It was against the rule to invite an inexperienced player, but they made an exception for him. He finds it easy to memorize music. He finds it easy to memorize music. Number 20, memorize.
Memorize.
Mem.
M-E-M.
Or.
O-R.
I.
Z-E.
And the word is?
Memorize.
M-E-M-O-R-I-Z-E. Memorize. M-E-M, not to double. O-R-I with another vowel. Let's say the story quietly. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes and will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Do not confuse them with the dried ones. They came in a blue box. It was the intention of the person to have the box held together with glue. In connection with the flute playing, he received an invitation to play at a concert at a club. It was against the rule to invite an inexperienced player, but they made an exception for him. He finds it easy to memorize music. One more time. See it in your mind's eye. Ready? Begin. The boy hummed a pretty tune while he worked the problem of fractions. He divided the figures into sections. He can boast that he does well in this work. He does as well as anyone in the nation. He will endure all the hard work it takes, and he will not be rude to others who find it difficult. Last June, he was able to satisfy his ambition to play the flute. One reward he received was a box of fresh, ripe prunes. Do not confuse them with the dried ones. They came in a blue box. It was the intention of the person to have the box held together with glue. In connection with the flute playing, he received an invitation to play at a concert given at a club. It was against the rule to invite an inexperienced player, but they made an exception for him. He finds it easy to memorize music. Nicely done. Did you enjoy your lesson?
Yes.
Ben, what was one word that we had today? Without looking, look at me.
Boast.
Spell the word boast.
B-O-A-S-T.
Wonderful. You may go back to your seat, Ben.
Thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome. Push in your chair. Come back and push in your chair. Thank you. Sam, what was one word you learned today?
Prunes.
All right, and how do you spell prunes?
P-R-U-N-E-S.
Very well done. You may go back to your seat. Oh, come back. Say thank you for the lesson.
Thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome. Now, those of you that are at your seats with your papers, let's see. Ion, what was one word that we had today?
Memorize.
Spell it.
M-E-M-O-R-I-Z-E. Memorize.
Without looking. Varun, what's another word?
Rude.
Spell it.
R-U-D-E. Rude.
Reese.
Invitation.
Okay.
I-N-I-V.
I-N-V.
T-A-T-I-O.
Look at your paper. Invitation. In.
Oh.
Spell it.
Wait. Oh yeah. I-N-V-I-T-A-T-I-O-N.
Excellent. Sonia.
Connection. C-O-N-N-E-C-T-I-O-N. Connection.
All right. Leela.
Tune. T-U-N-E.
Nicely
Tune.
done. All right. Well, thank you very much. Did you enjoy your spelling lesson?
Yes. Thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome. We're going to make a transition here. We're going to have the people who haven't been at the table up at the table, and we're going to do a math lesson. You may bring your pencils with you. Those of you that are at your seats, you can get working on what's at the board.
Excuse me. Should we just bring up the paper or the...
I asked you to bring your pencil, but if you've already brought paper, then just put it on the table.
Is that a microphone?
It's a speaker.
Oh, this is hard.
Okay, so I have to do a bunch of problems. 15 of them.
All right, let's take a look at the directions at the top of the page.
Thank you.
Sonia, would you read the directions, please?
Solve the problems. The solution may require addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Write the pattern in the answer. Use another sheet of paper.
So are we going to write in our books?
No.
No. Where are we going to write?
On another sheet of paper.
Oh, on another sheet of paper. So you have a stack of paper right underneath your book. So let's look at the very first problem. Leela, would you read it for me, please?
500 people enter a restaurant. There is room for only 4 persons at each table. How many tables do they need?
Now, Sonia said this was really difficult. Let's see if we can make it not so difficult. Let's take a look at this. Well, what information are we given first?
That there are 500 people in the restaurant and there
Okay,
are
so that's the first piece of information. We have 500 people in the restaurant, but then we're told what?
only 4 people can be at each table.
Only 4 people can be at each table. So we start with the 500, and what does the 500 tell us?
The dividend all.
It tells us all the people we have. So on our paper, I want you to write 500. And that's the all. It's all we have. And we also know something about the 4. What does 4 tell us?
The number of times into
The number of persons at each table. So there's going to be 4, 4, 4, 4, and we're going to keep on going until we get to 500, aren't you? So you said, what kind of question is this going to be? Addition, subtraction?
Division.
Oh, division. So we're going to write our 4 and our division bracket. And if 500 is the all, what's the 4?
The divisor.
It's the divisor, but what is it
the
telling us?
number into which I divide the all.
But is it the number of piles, or is it the number in each pile?
The number in each pile.
The number in each pile. So I have 500 people, and I have 4 people in each pile. Can you find your answer for me?
125.
And what does 125 tell us?
The quotient is
Well, we have the all, we have the number in each pile, so 125 is the
Number of piles.
the number of piles. We were looking for the number of piles. What was the question that was asked? Sonia, what question were we asked in number 1?
How many tables do they need?
How many tables do they need? Can you answer that in a complete sentence for me?
They need 125 tables.
They need 125 tables. So I want you to skip a line and write, they need 125 tables. Do you have a sentence?
Yes.
Really?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Do you have a sentence?
No.
What did you learn in first grade about what a sentence has? It begins with a capital letter and it ends with a period. And you want your paper, your answer to be able to just pop off the page for the teacher. So would you underline 125 tables, please, so that she sees that, or he. So that was question number 1. Let's look at question number 3. Who read number 1 for me?
Me.
You did? Me did? Who read number 1? I did. Okay. So then, Ion, would you read number 3 for me, please?
Martha bought a set of 6 silver dishes for $3,900. How much did each dish cost?
So can you see that picture in your mind?
Yes.
What's the first piece of information that we're given?
She bought a set of 6 silver dishes
And for how much?
for $3,900.
So we have $3,900. What does this tell us in our story? What is this? $3,900.
All the
All the money. Yes. So $3,900 is the all. That's all she had. It's all the money she had. But what other information are we given?
She bought a set of silks.
A set of 6. So what does 6 tell us?
It's the divisor.
But what does it tell us?
She bought 6 of them.
Yeah, so I know it's going to be my divisor, but is it the number of piles or the number in each pile?
The number in each pile.
Is it? Are there going to be 6 dishes and...
Number to which I divide the all.
Well, let's think about the picture. You have $39,000 and you've bought a set of 6 dishes. How much did each dish cost? Think about it. Are we looking for the number of piles or the number in each pile? Should we draw a picture?
Yes.
Okay. So she bought how many dishes?
6.
6. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how much did all of that cost?
$3,900.
$3,900. So am I looking for the number of piles? What does 6 tell me?
The number of piles.
6 tells me the number of piles I have, but I don't know how much is in each one, do I?
No.
No. So I have the number of piles. 6 is the number of piles. And what am I looking for? If I have the number of piles and I have the all, what am I looking
The
for?
number in each pile.
The number in each pile.
Which is
So I'm going to divide 6. How many 6s are in 3? Oh, doesn't go. How many 6s are in 39?
6.
6, with how much left over?
3.
3. How many 6s are in 30?
5.
5.
How much left over?
None.
Nothing. So what's my answer?
600. 650.
650 elephants?
No, $650.
$650. Oh, you're missing your dollar sign here. So put your dollar sign there, and put your dollar sign there. So, Reese, what was the question that we were asked in number 3?
How much did she need?
Number 3?
Number 3.
Yes. What?
Oh, how much did each dish cost?
How much did each dish cost? How can we answer that in a complete sentence?
Is this for everyone?
Each dish costed $650.
I want to talk about that word, the verb cost. You're going to put each dish cost. Today, today it cost something. Yesterday it cost something. The verb is the same. It's like cut. Today I cut the paper. Yesterday I cut the paper. Today it cost $650. Yesterday it cost $650. Each dish cost $650.
Period.
With a period.
Oh,
Now, both of those worked out to be division questions, didn't they?
Yes.
yes.
Let's look at number 5.
Oh, we're skipping. We're going
We'll look at number 5.
1, 3, 5.
Olivia baked 225 delicious brownies for the school picnic. She put them on colorful paper plates of 8 each. How many paper plates did she use? Now, before you say anything, what kind of problem is this going to be? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? It's another division question. So in number 3, what information are we given?
That
The first word, the first number we're given is 225. What are they? Brownies, delicious brownies. So 225 is the all. And then she put them onto plates of 8 each. Well, what does 8 tell us? Look at your picture in your mind.
The number of piles.
Well, they're on plates. And we have 8 here, and 8 here, and 8 here, and 8 here. What do we have? If I have 8 and 8 and 8, is this telling me how many piles I have, or the number in each pile?
The number in each.
The number in each pile. 8 tells me the number in each pile. Now, can you solve your problem?
It has a remainder.
It does?
Yes.
What did you get as an answer?
28 with remainder 1.
What do you think she's going to do with that leftover brownie?
Eat it.
That's what I would do. Say, I made just one brownie too many. No one will ever know the difference, right? What else could she do? If she
could distribute it.
She could, but how many, one brownie, and how many pieces would she have to cut it into?
A lot.
And then but no one would want to eat that.
It'd be
It'll
so
be, like,
small.
tiny.
Amanda's would just eat it, right? But if she didn't like chocolate brownies, what else could she do with it?
Vanilla.
She could throw it away.
She could throw it away, but that would be wasteful.
She could give it to eat someone else.
Yes, she could give it to someone else.
Or she
Perhaps her little brother really liked brownies, and she thought, oh, well, since we're going to have
A ton of.
them at the school picnic,
or
that
at
perhaps
the
I could
school,
let my little brother have them.
Or at the school picnic, someone will be the lucky one with one extra bun.
Oh, there
no,
could
they
be,
could auction it
that's
off.
right, there could be one plate that had, how many on it?
9.
9. Or maybe she would like to give that brownie to her teacher.
Or her
Your
best
pa-
friend.
Or her best friend. There are lots
put
of
it in
different
half
things
and
that she
give
could
it
do
to
with it. So were these problems really that difficult, Sonia?
No,
when you,
no.
It looked a bit overwhelming when you first looked at it to
You
see
did it.
all of these, but we worked on it very, very slowly. And then when you go back to your seat, I would have you finish number 2 and number 4, just to make sure that you knew what you were doing.
So all
And then
we do is 2 and 4?
2 and 4. And then when we come back to the table next time for our math lesson, we'll check to make sure that you did 2 and 4 correctly before we move on
Will we even
and do the
have another
rest.
math lesson?
Does that sound like fun? Is that something you'd be willing to do?
Yes.
Did you enjoy your math lesson at the table?
Yes.
Good. Did you learn more about division?
Yes.
Yes. So how many children do we have here at the table?
4.
4 children. And if I added 4 more children, how many would we have?
8.
8 children. But we only have how many?
4.
We only have 4. Can I divide you into groups of 4?
No. Yes.
Oh, how many groups of 4 would we have?
1.
1 group of 4. Could I divide you into groups of 2?
Yes.
And what would we have?
2.
2 groups of?
2.
What if I asked you to divide yourself into 3 groups? Could you do that?
No.
No?
Yes.
How, Sonia?
There could be 2 people. Wait. 2 people that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could split ourselves in half.
Well, but that wouldn't be realistic.
No.
But I want you in 3 groups.
No. We could do it, but one person wouldn't be in it.
So, but everybody's going to participate.
No, we have
I have an idea. We could
Just-
have 3 people, and the last person could get cut in thirds.
No.
No.
You're going to divide yourselves into 3 groups.
You can't do it. That's impossible.
Really?
Yes.
Can you be one group by yourself? Sure.
Oh, yes, 1, 2.
Could you be a group by yourself?
Yes.
Could you be a group by yourself?
And then Leela could be with me.
And Leela could be with you, or with you, or with you. Yeah, so it is
didn't say.
possible. It is possible. You know what, boys and girls? Our time for math has come to an end. It's gone so quickly.
Wow.
I know. I've enjoyed myself.
Thank you
For the lesson, Mrs. Abroad.
You're welcome. You may take your language of numbers books and just go back to your seat.